Welcome back guys on DZ Movies. Today we're going to take a look at the third episode of Stranger Things Season 4. Incoming spoilers. Seat back, relax and enjoy. In the beginning of this episode, we have General Sullivan landing in Ruth, Nevada at the home of Dr. Sam and his wife. Sullivan showing him pictures of the condition in which Chrissy's body was found, suggesting that something supernatural is the cause. The doctor is of the opinion that no one fully understands what is going on in that town, and Sullivan believes Eleven is responsible, insinuating that she is still alive and that Sam already knows. So the military soldiers search the house to find evidence to confirm this theory. In the meantime, a medical team arrives at the entertainment venue, where they treat Angela while the others watch. Apparently she will eventually survive, after which Mike and the rest of the gang return home to Will, where they find Murray in the kitchen cooking dinner. They sit down to dinner when their mother gives them the shocking news that she has to leave for a conference in Alaska tomorrow, a pretext to cover up her real plan. Meanwhile, the tension between the youngsters escalates when the incident at the park where a girl was injured with a skate is brought up, and Mike's reaction to this causes Jane to get up from the table and leave in a huff. Back in town, the basketball team prepares to leave in search of Eddie, accompanied by Lucas, who doesn't entirely agree with their ideas and what they will do to him when they find him, but agrees to stay with the team. Eddie, who in the meantime is scared of Dustin and the rest of the gang who have returned to his hideout, bringing him food and the latest news about what is going on and what they plan to do next. Robin tries to reassure him because they've been through this many times before, even though Dustin's plan to find Vecna and stop him to get Eddie out seems crazy. The conversation stopped by police and fire sirens passing on the nearby street. Seeing them, the youngsters follow them to find out what has happened now. Arriving at the crime scene, they find Nancy answering questions from the cops about the last time she saw her colleague found dead in the same manner as Chrissy. Back in California, Mike and Will have breakfast without Eleven, who is still upset in her room, so Mike goes to talk to her. They have a discussion about what they are unhappy about, which is interrupted by two policemen who show up at the front door. They are here to arrest Eleven because of the incident yesterday. And since Will's mother is already on the plane to Alaska, they are on their own. Meanwhile in prison, Jim and Enzo have a little talk about how the exchange will go, and how he will get the money in exchange for Jim's release, if all goes according to plan. Back at the trailer park, Max and the others try to piece together what has happened so far, and find a connection between Fred and Chrissy's deaths. Max remembers seeing Chrissy coming out of the high school therapist's office, so they head back there in hopes of finding more clues she left behind about the new monster. It seems the killing won't stop there. We now see Vecna back in the underworld as she searches for her next target in the human world, with only her mind. It looks like he has found someone. In the car that Lucas and the other basketball players were in, one of them starts bleeding from their noses, just before they reach the garage of a house, where a band that knew Eddie is rehearsing. They are asked where Eddie is, and when the answer doesn't satisfy the searchers, things escalate into a fight, until one of them suggests looking for Dustin, he might know where he is. All the while in California, Jane is being questioned by the cops, and afterwards, she is photographed, fingerprinted, and sent to a juvenile correctional school, without Mike and the others being able to do anything to help her. On the other side of the world, still in a prison, Jim bribes another inmate to hit him in the leg with a sledgehammer, hoping to escape the shackles and escape when the opportunity arises. While Max tries to get some information out of his therapist, Robin and Nancy try their luck at the library archives looking for information on a certain Victor Creel as suggested by Eddie's uncle. When Max can't get anything out of the lady therapist, he steals her office keys and runs away. In the meantime, Lucas and the others arrive at Dustin's house, but it seems no one was home, but Lucas sneaks into Dustin's room to get in touch with him. He succeeds in doing so and finds out Eddie's location, but ignores what his friends have told him and tells them the location of the guys on the basketball team who have been giving Eddie a hard time. The police van in which Jane was being transported is stopped by 3 cars in the middle of nowhere, and when she tries to escape and run away, she is caught and Sam appears in front of her. Meanwhile at the library, Robin and Nancy learn that Victor Creel is not so far off the mark after all. He later declares that his house was invaded by a demon that killed his family and even called a priest to get rid of it, but to no avail. Dustin and the others go to the high school, where they break into the therapist's office to find more answers with Max's stolen keys, but when she compares Chrissy's and Fred's symptoms from their charts, she realizes that she is in the same situation, and may be the next target. While Sam comes up with an interesting proposition for Eleven, he presents her with the facts, and confesses that both her friends and the rest of the town are in danger, and believes she is the only one who can save them. But Jane tells him that she no longer has her powers, but he offers to try to give them back to her and even make her stronger to fight this new threat. The episode ends with Max alone in the dark in the halls of the high school, watching the ticking of a clock as Fred and Chrissy indicate that her time is coming to an end, and with Vecna's gaze on her as she calls out her name as the next victim. Subscribe to this channel if you want more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to turn on notification to help this channel.